so here we are with some guiltygearstrive. Yeah. I didn't really prioritize making this video because guiltygearstrive videos don't really do that well. But I still enjoy playing the new characters, right? I really like playing. Whenever a new character comes out, I enjoy it. Although, I didn't like Season 2. Season 2 was one of the worst seasons. The Season 2 made me stop playing the game. But Season 3 and Season 1 were really good. And I just think it's funny how Guilty Gear, a game that is clearly worse in every way compared to the newer fighting games, I still think it's funny how they absolutely destroy Capcom and Bandai when it comes to releasing new content. You know, those games are only getting 4 DLC characters, and guiltygearstrive has gotten like, dude, I don't even know, like, what, 12 to 16 characters in 3 years or something like that? Yeah. guiltygearstrive just destroys those. And again, I've said this before, one of the things that I absolutely love about Arc System Works is their DLC characters. It's what made me like fighting games so much in the first place, because the first fighting game I really took serious was Dragonballfighterz, and that game got 8 DLC characters in the first season, and they were dropping 2 DLC characters at the same time. So it really made you want to keep playing the game. The post-launch support for fighters was absolutely amazing in that first year. We got 1 new stage, which was the only stage they would ever add, as well as 8 characters in the first year. It was just an amazing season. And guiltygearstrive kept that up. guiltygearstrive had, what, 6 characters in the first year, I believe? So that's what I really love, and it is the biggest thing that I miss in modern fighting games, because Tekken 8 and Street Fighter 6 only have 4 characters in their first season. And the content droughts in Street Fighter 6 especially are absolutely insane. You go through a massive drought. So I am happy to see that Arcsys is still the king of DLC. They did not lose their crown with Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. They kept it. But with the release of Slayer, who, by the way, I think is an amazing character, they did him justice. I really like Slayer in Rev 2, and I think he transferred over very well. They did a very good job, in my opinion. But he marks the end of Season 3, and I don't think it's a controversial opinion to say that I just wish that they would move on from this game. I really do. This is the longest we've ever gone without a new Arcsys game. You can count dnfduel as an Arcsys game if you want, but it's not. It's not made by Arcsys. Only the graphics are, seemingly. That's how it was. So this is the longest we've gone without a new Arcsys game. And that's really sad, because Arcsys was a demon just 5 or 6 years ago. Like 5 or 6 years ago, we got like BlazBlue, Dragonballfighterz, BlazBlue Cross Tag, Guilty Gear Rev 2. All those games are in the span of like 2 or 3 years. And now we've gotten guiltygearstrive and dnfduel in the span of 3 years, and technically it's been 2 years without an Arcsys. No, not even technically. It's been 2 years without an Arcsys game. The last one that technically came out was dnfduel, but they didn't even make that game. They just made the graphics. So it's even more if you count Guilty Gear being the last game. It's been 3 years. It's been their longest drought by far. And I think most people would agree that their dedication to Guilty Gear is kind of hurting them. Because, look, the game had its run, right? The game had its run, but it has problems, and they keep adding more problems onto the game, especially with this new burst system, the way these new burst moves work. They're just super unbalanced. The game is just... No one takes the game serious. As a competitive game, there are not many people around who take the game serious anymore. Most people who took this game serious moved on to Tekken and moved on to Street Fighter. Most people have done that. There are three types of people. You either moved on to Tekken, you either moved on to Street Fighter, or you moved on to Project L. Like that's what you're waiting on. You're waiting for Project L. This game, it's safe to say this game is done, right? No one really takes this game serious anymore. And and it's not a bad game, it's a fun game. I play the game every single time a new character comes out, but I only play it for about a week before I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start playing Street Fighter or Tekken again. And that's mainly because this game feels like an old gen game. Like, the new level of quality we have with fighting games nowadays is just insanely high. And you can tell that guiltygearstrive came out when the standard was much lower for fighting games. But it's kind of funny because guiltygearstrive kind of set a standard for fighting games when it had rollback netcode. But, like, let's be honest. If guiltygearstrive came out today with 16 characters, no story mode, right? The story mode is it's barely a mode at all. And that was it. This game would have been crucified if it came out today. With the way fighting games are today, this game would have been crucified. Kind of like how dnfduel was crucified. So, yeah. This game is just much lower quality than fighting games we have nowadays. But that's because it's a 3-year-old game, right? Like, that's why. It's just... Arcsys used to really release a lot of games, and I hope the reason that they're not releasing a game is because they're trying to up their quality. They're trying to release the most high-quality fighting game they've ever released. I hope that's truly the reason why. But I think that they've already announced that guiltygearstrive will be getting another season. And that's just scaring me. That scares me a lot, because guiltygearstrive is the most popular Guilty Gear game ever. But I feel like people are moving on. People are moving on from this game. There's still people that play this game, don't get me wrong. But a lot of this game's fire was taken by Street Fighter and Tekken. If they release another game, they can still recapture their audience. But they're just continuing with this game, and I don't know if that's the right move. I don't know if that's what people are really looking for, because this is a very tame game, I would say, compared to Street Fighter and Tekken. It's very tame in what the game allows you to do, although it is very unbalanced, don't get me wrong. And I think people are looking for a bit more of an exciting fighting game than what guiltygearstrive offers, because the game is fun, but it's just lacking. And I think everyone can respect what they did with guiltygearstrive. Everyone had their fun with the game, but I think it's time to move on. And the problem is, it doesn't look like they're moving on. And I think that's going to hurt Arcsys really bad, because, look, this game is getting less and less popular by the day, and when Season 4 comes around, I mean, how many people are really going to still be actively playing this game? It's always going to have a fan base, right? Don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, I literally... The reason why I'm uploading this video so late is because I wasn't really rushing to get a guiltygearstrive video out, because no one really watches those videos, right? It's like, it's kind of just outdated. I still like the game, right? Just like how I still will always love DragonBallfighterz for everything that it did for me. But, I mean, we can't lie. DragonBallfighterz is hot garbage now. What they did to that game was horrific. And the fact that they just announced a new World Tour today, as well as updates, I think is just stupid, because I don't know how they expect people to take that game serious when they keep releasing these updates that break the game. They keep releasing these updates that make the balance absolutely insane. And on top of that, they refuse to add any new content to the game at all. I don't know how people take that game serious, and the answer is that a lot of people don't take that game serious. And in my opinion, I think guiltygearstrive is heading down that route, where the balance updates are just insanely goofy and whack. The game is just getting worse and worse by the season, and everyone's kind of just already, they're just ready to move on. They're ready for another game or just to move on to a different fighting game entirely. And they just don't really, you know, they just, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I just want a new Arcsys game. I believe most people feel that way. I don't believe I'm just making stuff up. Even if you like this game, and even if you play this game every single day, I think that most people would be excited if they moved on from this game. And they really showed us what they could do when competing against Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8. And that's really where things start to get scary, because is Arc System Works capable of competing against the new age of fighting games? Based off of everything that they've done in the past, absolutely not. But that could be why they're taking so long, because they know that they have to. Again, try convincing someone to buy guiltygearstrive for $60 over Street Fighter 6. Just try doing that. Name every single feature that Street Fighter 6 has, and then name every single feature that guiltygearstrive has, and tell me right now that person is going to choose guiltygearstrive over Street Fighter 6. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. And if their next game is $60 and it's on the level of all their previous games, we might see the end of Arc System Works, honestly. Arc System Works might just fade back into being obscure again. But I have confidence that the reason they're taking so long is because they know this, and they're going to compete heavy with these new gen fighting games. That's my faith. I don't know if this is going to be the last guiltygearstrive video on this channel. I don't know if I'm going to play the next season. We will see. But I like this season. I really like Solera, but I just hope that they move on from this game. Like, subscribe, peace.